Hello, everyone, and welcome to this small pill on making it clear about climate change and emission mitigation measures. I'm Silvia from you, and let's start. So, we will start with a brief introduction about key concepts such as climate change and global warming, and then we will go through defining a strategy. What does it mean to define a good strategy to tackle climate change? What is our approach on this, and why it is so important to become carbon neutral. So, when we talk about climate change, we talk about a persistent and detectable change in the state of the climate and its properties over an extended period of time compared to a previous one. Instead, when we talk about global warming, we talk about the gradual increase observed or projected in the future in global mean temperatures caused by anthropogenic emissions of greenhouse gases. It is important to remember about this that last year in 2021, the IPCC Sixth Assessment Report recognized the responsibility of the humankind for the exponential rise in temperature we are experiencing in this period of history. So, how does global warming works? Greenhouse gases entertain the sun heat and warm the planet's surface. This is a normal mechanism that our planet has to retain and have such a warm temperature of 15 degrees of medium in on average on our planet. But of course, with the increase of the concentration of these gases, the temperature rises. So the global warming potential expresses the contribution to the greenhouse gas effect of a certain gas as compared to the effect of CO2 that has a potential one. The main anthropogenic sources of greenhouse gas emission result from the combustion of fossil fuels for electricity, for heating, and for transportation. So, how to define a strategy? What to do about this issue? The European Union in 2019 defined the European Green Deal that tackles climate change, moving on the twin track industry climate. Setting two main goals for the member states. The first is to 2030 and wants to cut by 55% the greenhouse gases emissions compared to 1990 for the countries that are part of the Union. The other one is to 2050 and wants to make Europe the first continent to achieve climate neutrality. But what does it mean to be carbon neutral, and what's the difference with net zero? Carbon neutrality is a state achieved by a product, a service, a brand, an organization, or even an event that starts with the reduction of CO2 emissions and ends up with the balancing of these activities with investments on balancing initiatives. Net zero instead is a condition that may be attained by an organization through the implementation of an emission reduction strategy over time aligned with Paris Agreement's goals. And in the second stage, with the adoption of a solution that includes the sequestration of CO2 from the atmosphere. But what's the difference between balancing activities and sequestration activities? So, carbon offsetting or emission compensations initiative allows an entity to balance the impact on global warming through the purchase of carbon credits and enabling funding of projects capable of avoiding, reducing, removing CO2 from the atmosphere. Neutralization instead is an offsetting measures that include a carbon removal. So specific activities investment on specific activities that allow the sequestration of greenhouse gas from the atmosphere that through carbon removal is called neutralization. What's our approach? What up to use approach on this? We start with the calculation of CO2 emissions. Then we pass to a reduction strategy, a reduction plan, and to offset the emission is not able, that the entity is not able to reduce, or which is not possible to reduce, and it closes with a communication to stakeholder of the journey. So the calculation is performed using the greenhouse gas protocol, which is the main standard for calculating the impact of an organization or an entity um, with the carbon footprint methodology. Then we build a reduction path that has to be transparent, credible, and has to set achievable goals within a defined time frame for the entity. It all closes with an offsetting strategy on nature-based solution projects or technology-based solution projects that allow our clients to balance their emissions that where it was not possible to to reduce. In the end, it is important to communicate the journey in a transparent, fair, and personalized way for each client in order to allow the stakeholder engagement on sustainable action and maximize making sustainability communicative and inclusive. So why it is so important to become carbon neutral? For attracting new clients, new funding, new talents to tackle climate change and advance change for this cause that affects the whole humanity, and of course to adopt new standards that sooner or later will be compulsory for us all, and of course to improve the reputation of the entity we have in this journey. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and do not hesitate to contact us in case of further clarification needed, or if you want to start a discussion. Thank you. Have a nice day.